Hi, we're going to try some new products today. This will be a get ready with me video that I'll be talking through. I'm going to try some products from Danessa Myricks, her In Light powders, also the Halo powder. Last night I wore Color Fix, this color on my lips, and it really lasted all night through eating even mussels with the oil clam sauce. So today I'm going to be using Color Fix in Obsidian as my eyeliner. These are waterproof, creamy formulations, and we're going to give all that a go today. I'm going to start with my NARS shadow stick just as a base. I'll list all the products below with the colors. And I'm going underneath my eye a little bit and then just up to the crease. I'm blending that out with the MAC 217 brush. Limelight Feeling Neutral palette. This is a palette with 18 colors, but you can break them down and purchase them any way you'd like, individually, in a 4-pack, in a 6-pack. I'm going to start, as I usually do, with my favorite color, One Night Sand, just in my crease. And I've already prepped my skin with my skin therapist and a pump of my Must Do. So if my face looks a little shiny, that's why. It's just the wonderful oils that are all starting to blend into my skin. I'm going to go in now with Hope for the Best and just deepen the crease a little bit. And the outer corner. And just give a little blend. And I'm going to pack some Cream Boat on my lid, just a little bit under the brow. These Limelight shadows are extremely pigmented, so it just takes a small little amount. To my color Brownie Points, and just darken the outer V. Come just a smidgen into my crease here with this, and just slightly under my eyes. I go back into my blending brush and blend, and you can see I'm pulling up that color in the outside edge, the corner. The pineapple of my eye, and just right over the center where the color, the iris, my green eye is, I'm going to pop a little bit of that color just to give my eyes a little extra pop. I do the same just a tiny bit underneath. I come back to my blending brush and very lightly just feather that out and in an airtight bottle. And what I'm going to do is on my palette pad, I'm going to just a tiny little bit. Very easy to apply. And I'm going to come back in later in the day and also do just a check-in with you so you see how it holds up. Do the waterline. It's safe for that area. And what this is going to do is actually give the appearance that my eyelashes are thicker and fuller. The one thing that I do notice is it's not transferring down too much to the lower lash line, which is great. Light Foundation, which is our CMA, or I should say manufactured for Limelight by our CMA. I'm going to take a drop of my One Drop Wonder And this is going to help me blend it in a little bit easier and also give me some UV protection. First, I'm going to start off with some of my concealers. And again, these are for Limelight by Alcone, and they're manufactured by Kryolan. So waterproof, full coverage. I'm going in with the concealer, our number one. It has a little bit of a green tint to it. I have a little bit of rosacea, so I want to cover that up. And you're going to see how it neutralizes the red here right away. I'm going to come in to my foundation, but I also need, I'm picking up my number two because I'm not quite as dark as this foundation yet. And a lot of times I like to blend it right on my skin, and I find this gives me a great color match. So I'm just dabbing it in, and now just very lightly swirling. I'll come back in and do some color correction and some concealer. I'm going to take my Blenderful, my damp sponge, press that in. Cover up a couple of the areas. I'm taking just a little bit on my finger for my sunspot, and I'm going to come down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing to cover that up. I need to look now over my mirror. That's covered that up pretty well, and I always like to take just a little, and when I say a little, I'm just barely touching my foundation on my cheeks. And now I'm going to come back into the concealer, and I'm going to use my number three. It has a salmon tone to it, so it's going to help knock out any of the darkness I have under my eyes. And I like to use my fingers when I'm doing this. The warmth of the skin really helps press that product in. I'm going to try to sit back a little bit here. And now I'm going to go back into my number two concealer, which is what I mixed with my foundation. Again, rub it between my fingers. I'm going to start where I want to conceal and just highlight and lift the eyes a little bit. I'll even take what's left over a little bit on the tip of my nose and my chin. And again, I'm just gonna press that product in. I'm really concentrating here because I want some of those circles to disappear. Let's go in and have some fun. I'm gonna open this very carefully. I'm gonna show you what's in the lid here. I'm gonna use this like a setting powder today. I have some on my brush, and that's a lot of product, so I'm gonna drop some of that off just by tapping in the lid. I'm gonna start where I might wanna highlight. Just on my cheeks, a little bit down my nose, chin again. I'm actually going to bring that product and use it to set just underneath my eyes, because that should give me a little radiance and just lift the area. And I'm just going to take whatever's left over on the brush basically and just blend just underneath here also. Underneath the cheekbone a little bit. So I'm going to go back to my concealer palette and come into this number 6 color. I'm picking up just a little bit and putting it just on my cheekbone. I'm going to use a different dual fiber brush to blend and bringing that product up and blending it in. And I like this color because it also gives me a little bit of a tan look, so I'm just going to bring a teeny tiny bit of that down my nose and under the jawline. And I'm going to take my Senna pencil and just fill my brows in ever so slightly. I need a little more help out in this area, and I'm going to bring the peak, my arch up. And bring that color down. I'm not really going to extend the tail, but I need to thicken it a little bit. I'm going to take a brush through before we go back into setting it with the powder. See how we're doing. I need just a couple more strokes right here. My eyeshadow palette with taupe for the best color. And set the pencil. And this is just going to help push the product through a little bit more. See, I never want to start with the darkest color in here. I want to keep this nice and light and airy and natural looking. So now whatever's left on my brush, I'm just pressing through. I'm giving a nice brush through. My duo here, I didn't use the powder today, I used the Enlight, so I'm going to use our bronzer and some blush. The bronzer we're going to pick up a little bit. I like to keep fairly high to really mimic where the sun would hit. Up on the forehead, the nose, under the chin and my neck area. I never get as much color on my neck as I do everywhere else. Bronzer, we're going to go into a little bit of blush. So I used our blush number 4. Now I'm going with a little bit of our blush number 6. It's going to help warm my skin up a little bit, give it a little bit of a glow. Halo powder, so I'm going to use a smaller, much smaller brush. And you can already see, I hope you can pick up the glimmer, the shimmer. There's only a little bit in the top of the lid here. I'm going to swirl in here, tap it off. And while I can see that just in my camera, I'm going to keep that on the high points of the cheeks. A little bit down the center of the nose, tap of the Cupid's bow. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see just the little glisten and glimmer that I'm getting without it being overly glittery. Some mascara. I'm going to curl my lashes. A few pumps as I'm looking down or holding the curler down, and now we're going to flip up. So this is going to help really give a nice curl to my lashes. I'm going to start off with the Limelight the Perfect Mascara because this has fibers in it, and it's really going to extend my lashes. I'm going to come from up above also, coat both sides of the lashes and back up. I always like to start on the tips with this. It's going to put some more product and really stretch my tiny little lashes out for me. Don't pump your mascara, pumps air back in. I just put it in the wand and swirled it. And now that I've come down from the base, I'm really trying to hit those ends again to pull them up and out. And I'm blinking down into the wand. This is the extended play lash. I like to use this. It's going to be hot here today, so I want to do something that's more waterproof on the lower lash line. I'm just going to take whatever's left over on the brush and pull that through the upper lashes also. That's made a pretty dramatic improvement in my lashes. Squirt of my setting spray. This is the Scandinavia setting spray. Lips, I'm going to go back to the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. Nothing on my lips to prep, no liner or anything. Terri Tomlinson Lip Brush. Picking up some of the product. I'm going to start on the inside. Press them together. And I just had a tiny little bit of product on my lip to start with there. I'm going to pick up a little bit more to intensify the color a little. And I can tell you already my thoughts on this since I had it on last night. It doesn't really feel like you have anything on your lips at all once it dries down, and it'll dry down matte. I'm thinking throughout the night, I licked my lips a few times, I ate, I drank. It really lasted. So I was very impressed with that, and it didn't feel bad. I'm going to do a check-in today. I'm going to actually leave it. I'm going to eat, do some other things, running around throughout the day, and then I'm going to come back and put some lip gloss on so you can see how it holds up. I'm curious to see how it holds up with a little bit of lip gloss on top of it also. And I'm just intensifying this a little, keeping it in very thin layers. So I'll do some check-ins with you a little bit later on in the day so you can see how it's all holding together. Fix my hair a little bit, and I'll check in with you later in the day. So I'm just doing a check-in, letting you know that the eyeliner is holding up extremely well. It's midday. I was sitting out in the sun for a little bit, so I'm a little dewier than usual. Setting powder and the highlight is looking quite beautiful. My lips have been holding up really well, and at this point I actually put some lip gloss on, so I want to see how that's going to hold up, and I'll check in with you in a few more hours. It's about 6 o'clock later in the day. I'm sitting outside watching the sunset, and I've eaten with my lip gloss on. You can see my lips are still staying pretty well. Eyeliner is holding up really well. I'll do a check-in a little bit later in the day and give you my reviews and opinions on the Danessa Myricks and light powders, and also the color fix. Hi, so I'm just doing a check-in. It's now about 9:30 at night. I put my makeup on this morning at 9:30, and I want to show you everything is doing pretty well. Eyeliner has stayed. I had a little bit of transfer onto the waterline down here in this eye. Lipstick I had on, and put that on at 9:30, ate 2 meals, one with some oily linguine and clam sauce and mussels. And even with putting on some lip gloss, I still have the stain on, maybe not as full coverage as it was this morning when I started off, so I may try another layer of it the next time I apply it. But all in all, still pretty happy. Still have that beautiful dewy shine. Without looking over the top glittery. I haven't had to powder anywhere, and that's along with sitting out in the sun. So all in all, I'd say my review of the products has been pretty amazing, considering I've had it on all day long and haven't done any touch-ups. So Danessa, I'm giving you a big thumbs up. Great product, and I'm looking forward to trying some more in some different colors.